Yeah, NHL season has started. Ducks are struggling a little bit, not scoring a lot of goals, but the big story for the Ducks, the goaltender who used to be here, Lukas Dostal. He's got a 945 save percentage. Anything above 900 in the NHL is amazing. This past week, they played on the road. He had back-to-back games in which I think he had 40 and 44 saves.
Really?
So they're hanging tough, but they just don't have a lot of goal scorers on their team because the team is still really, really young. But that is so cool to see Lukas Dostal just show up and has taken the starting job from John Gibson, this longtime goaltender. He's done a really good job. Edmonton, lousy start to the season again. Now they're starting to play better, and they're doing it without Connor McDavid. He's out 3 weeks with an ankle sprain, and he's never been hurt. He's never had a major injury since he came to the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see if the Oilers can kind of tread water here till their superstar Connor McDavid comes back. Formula One, the drought is over. Max Verstappen won the Brazilian Grand Prix, which was driven in an unbelievable rainstorm in Sao Paulo yesterday.
Ooh.
Amazingly dangerous. And they didn't postpone, they didn't cancel the race, etc. He ran away from the field. And the pole sitter, Lando Norris, who has won a bunch of races recently, almost crashed on the first lap. And actually, he was a pole sitter and lost the lead on the first lap and never, ever recovered. And Verstappen went to the front and won. It ended a 10-race drought for Max Verstappen, who was running away with the series championship in midseason. He's had all these problems off the track, but he finally won. NASCAR, final race of the season, is coming up in Phoenix this next weekend. It's called the Final Four of the playoffs. Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, William Byron, Ryan Blaney. Those are the 4 guys that are competing for the $5 million prize money in Phoenix. Been an awful lot of controversy in NASCAR about rough riding. They are racing for so much in terms of bonus money and advertising and sponsorship. Guys are running guys off the track. It's kind of dangerous. And the kind of speeds that they're turning to be tapping guys and getting them sideways and air's getting under cars and cars flipping. I'm not sure that's what the sport is all about. Horse racing. What a day at Del Mar. Breeders' Cup. 14 went to post in a $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic. And a horse that so many expected so many things from for the Triple Crown. Sierra Leone didn't win any of the Triple Crown races. Sierra Leone stormed out of the gate and won impressively at Del Mar. I mean, this was a phenomenal win. Sierra Leone finished 3rd in the Derby, 3rd in the Belmont, 2nd of the Traverse Stakes, and 2nd at the Jim Dandy. Those are all big stakes races, but had not won a Triple Crown race and then dominated. The horse that everybody expected was City of Troy, Irish horse, raced in England, won 6 races on grass abroad in Europe, came here to run on the dirt and just really struggled. Finished, I think, a distant 8th. So, I mean, the Breeders' Cup Classic, just a spectacular event, crown jewel for Del Mar and the track. So the whole attention of horse racing fans watching TV was on Del Mar, and they got to see the sunshine, they got to see the beauty and the palm trees and the women and the hats, and then they got to see Sierra Leone win it. So, John, off the High Speed SportsWire, those are late-breaking stories.
Just a couple of comments. First of all, for the Ducks, you say they're really young. So if you look at their first shift, are we talking like 19 and 20-year-old? Are we talking like 24, 25?
No, we're talking anywhere from 19 years old to 23-year-old. And to have that many guys is really hard. Their young rookie this year is Cutter Gauthier, Boston University superstar. They traded for him from the Philadelphia Flyers. He's really young. He's really fast. He's really quick. He hasn't scored a goal yet. Trevor Zegras in his 3rd year, tremendous young talent. I had hoped by this point of his career, his 3rd year guy, that he'd be potting a lot of goals. Has not really happened yet. Troy Terry, ex-San Diego Gull, more of a power forward. He has scored goals, but they got too many young guys on their 2nd and 3rd lines that you have to get production from, and they're not getting the production from. The only real young guy that's done well is a defenseman, Pavel Mintyukov, who's from Russia. They force-fed him last year. He was very steady. He's now back as a 2nd-year guy, and obviously Dostal, the goaltender, who I think has got a world of talent, and he played well at the back half of last schedule, and they called him up, and he's standing on his head. 945 save percentage. You don't see that ever in the NHL, and that's what Dostal has done so far.
It's just great. I mean, I like getting the perspective of the save percentage because I'm not really sure how to measure it or gauge it. So you gave me the hint. Over 900 is good. The other comment is NASCAR. I was getting ready to watch the Aztec game against Boise on Fox Sports 1. Maybe there would be a pregame show, and they were showing NASCAR, and it was the trucks, that are going around the track, and it's just great watching these trucks go. But even there, they had guys that were hitting each other, knocking them out of turns, and one of the guys that came, I think, in second place in the race, when the thing finished, he got out of his truck and marched over to the winner and got right in his face.
Yep.
And so there's bad blood, there's hot heads in there, but it's just incredible to see what they can do with pickup trucks on the racetrack.
Well, they're all aerodynamic. I mean, they're powerful, etc. But next weekend, if you take time out from watching all things NFL, watch the Phoenix 400 because that's the championship race. They call it the Final Four, and those guys are competing for huge bucks. And they bump check you, and they swap paint with you, and they'll put your ass in a wall if it means they can win this race and win the money. Because not only just prize money, there's enormous sponsorship money from advertisers that is out there if you win this championship. So.
Are the trucks sort of like a minor league for the regular
developmental
NASCAR?
league? Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's another series. It's called the Infinity Series. They run their races on Saturday at the same track. And those are all the young drivers are 18, 19, 20 that are learning. And those cars are big and powerful, but there's not as much money because it's a developmental series as NASCAR is.
Cool.
Okay. Now that we know everything there is in the world of sports, it's your turn to join us. It's